Hey, welcome to the Convo Couch, everybody. Happy Halloween. Hope you're out there getting dressed up. You can't do it in California because Halloween is canceled, but what is not canceled is right behind us, a vote center. And me and Jonny Tsunami, this is Jonny Tsunami's ballot. I'm going to go vote by the machine. I have my mail in as well, but I'm going to go in and check out the machine, see what it's like. I don't think we're having problems this time, unlike the primary where there was huge, crazy, ridiculous lines at this point. We've had so many mail-in ballots, so I don't think there's going to be craziness going on at these vote centers. However, I'm going to go in and observe all the things and see what's going on and go cast my ballot. So here's Jonny Sue.
All right, everybody. So Pasa is heading on over. We are in Pasadena, sunny Pasadena. And so we are beyond 100 feet, I believe, of the vote center. So we are free to record. We're not electioneering or anything like Kamala Harris was the other day. And so here's Pasta going in to cast his ballot for democracy. Except we don't know if how many machines are broken, if there are any machines broken. If you remember in the primary we covered, there were, various machines broken in on the primary day on Super Tuesday. And so that's what happened, guys. So, we're here in Pasadena. We're having a good time. This is one of the voting centers. It's a new system they started up in 2018, I believe. In 2018, they also got the new machines, the tally machines, which I'm going to release the footage of. We have some raw footage of the machines running right now. They are running. They are scanning vote-by-mail ballots and ballots that are picked up in the various voting locations. We're allowed to have a tour of the facility in Downey. For some reason, they have it in a probation office here in Los Angeles where all the machines are. They're like huge machines. They're like 8-foot machine, 6 to 8 feet machine, and they're scanning, man. They're scanning. If you go on my Twitter, Jonathan Mayorka, you can go on my Twitter. My pinned video, it shows the machines and how they really operate, the tally machines. So one of the registrars, Jeff Klein, told us that they started scanning. We got a hold of their schedule. It looks like they started scanning about 4 or 5 days ago. And right now, if you don't know, Raji Rob has a lawsuit going on where he alleges that when you scan the ballots through that specific machine, the new machines they got in 2018, it violates an election code 15101B in California because it's processing, it makes the vote count accessible immediately as soon as you scan it through that machine. And now, Raji's been in litigation for about 7 months now. It's been almost 7 months. And the judge really isn't really working with him. They're trying to demur/dismiss the case on technicalities. If you go to Raji Rob's website or just hit him up on social media at RAJIRAB, Raji Rob, you can help him out if you want. He has a petition going on also to, for all the things going on with the voting. But here we are in Pasadena. During the primary, we were really on top of it because it looks like, because they released the voting centers in the primary, these new voting centers. This is new. This is brand new. So there's about 900 voting centers in the whole county of LA. And that went from 2000. It was a different voting center. It didn't have the little machines that they have now. So now anyone who lives in LA County can go to any of the any of the voting centers here. Before that, you had to go to your specific voting center. So I'd say that's a good thing. The machines are kind of easy, but I know it's like a big tablet, right? It's like a big 9-inch tablet. And some of the older people who go to vote on the machine, they forget to press like the next button or something like that. There's like a little next button you have to press to see the rest of the candidates. So that's a problem that's been raised, and there's not a lot of big notices about it when you go vote. The other problem we have is that we are the machines. There was an independent study done for these voting machines. They're like the little yellow stand with the little tablet and everything like that. And the independent study said that they jam, the paper jams, because you put your ballot through it and then it's supposed to mark it for you. And then, but there have been paper jams, and the paper jams have been crazy, especially during the primary last time. But Secretary of State Alex Padilla of California certified them anyways to use, even though they jam like less than the required amount, the minimal amount that they're not supposed to jam. So why is this happening in, the United States of America and California and the 5th largest economy in the world? How is this happening that our machines are jamming and shit like that? You know what I'm saying? And then when you count them, they're being counted by this big-ass machine. $300 million going into those big-ass machines is where Mike Sanchez, who is the media correspondent, told me they went to on election day. Most of that money went to the new machines, IBML, Image Tech machines. It wasn't, the usual names that we know. And $300 million, guys, $300 million. And the primary was a disaster. There were long lines. I don't think we'll be seeing that now because a lot of people voted by mail. Last time I checked the press release, there was about 2 million vote by mail going through. And you saw our previous video where we toured the vote by mail facility where they're processing them there. They open up the ballot, they open up the envelope, they check the signature, they they receive them. When they receive them, though, they receive them from these budget trucks from the P.O. box to so I think the way it works is that there's these little ballot drop-off boxes everywhere, right? Like in the library, there was one at the fire department over there. We saw that we passed by on the way here. Mostly at libraries, city halls, fire departments, right? So you can drop off your vote by mail ballot into those little boxes. So from those boxes, I believe they go to a P.O. box, an undisclosed P.O. box, and then from that P.O. box, they go to that vote by mail processing facility that we went to in Pomona, which is on the edge of LA County. And then from there, they go all the way to Downey to be in the tally center, to be there ready for the tally center. And actually, they started scanning them. But when you run them through that scanner, through that tally system, through that tally scanner, they're saying they're just scanning them. But you see, it takes the ballot images. And what's important is that do they decode the voter intent when they do that? And that's a question I have for Mr. Jeff Klein and Mr. Dean Logan. I know you're watching. And we'll see if Raji Rab's lawsuit prevails. He wants to go to appeals court. He wants to go to the Supreme Court. He wants to go to all the way. Because the judge hasn't given him discovery. He got discovery. He got the operating manual of that tally system, and then he got two people with 20 years of experience, 20 plus years of experience, experts that the opposition says supposed experts. The way the opposition, when they send their opposing arguments, supposed experts, they got 20 years of expertise and they're going to throw it away on something like this. This is important. This is our elections. This is our right. This is our democracy. This is our rights guaranteed by the Constitution. If we don't have our vote, then what the fuck do we have? So they're not going to throw away their years of experience, over 20 years of experience, to side with Raji. And also, they haven't even talked about the experts at all, the opposition. Hey, how'd it go?
Good. You have your mask?
Yeah.
Good. Go ahead and do it. It's easy. It's easy peasy. And I was able to take out my phone and check off all my propositions. I did impulsively vote for a couple people. I probably wouldn't have done it that were on my ballot. But I went back, did all the props. I relied on Matt Donovan. Except for one prop, I probably disagree with him.
Matt Donovan of the Future Left on Instagram.
Yeah. But they said you get your sticker. I want to read what I put here for Twitter today. I voted. Yeah, no one cares. You're an adult. And quite frankly, I wish that some of you who know nothing about politics didn't vote. How about that? I'll make you a sticker. Johnny said the other day, voting is the least thing you should do. My friend Brett the other day has put that shit up. It's the least you should do.
I'm going. Hopefully it doesn't get fucked by the tally system.
Who knows right here? Well, they can change whatever they want. They got the early counting. Just crazy. Anyways, how's everybody doing? Happy Halloween. Man, big weekend coming up. Not so much the big weekend, but starting in the beginning of the week. As we know, Monday we'll probably do a pre-show. We're heading out Sunday to our location, and we're going to have a big show for Election Day. We want to make sure that you can go and put us on and not have to watch the mainstream media, and you can get the results as they are coming in. The Convo Couch will be reporting it. People from all around the country, Shahid Buttar, who was just on Jimmy Dore yesterday, will be on the show. He'll be with Jen Perlman, actually, and they'll be talking together. A little thing going on. Medhurst, Richard Medhurst will be on. Got some new guys going on. Pat the Burner, who's now Pat the Independent Voter. First time, never been on the show. He's going to be on with that guy who is progressive martial arts, I think. And I'm going to reach out to a few other people, too, as well. I've invited the whole crew, Graham, Ron, Jimmy. Hopefully they'll stop in at some time. I put some feelers out there. Whitney Webb, I asked if she wants to come on that day. She's going to get back to me. First guest, though, will be Dario Hunter of the Independent Green Party. That's been an interesting situation. There's been somebody who was in the Green Party who's kind of been pushing at us for not going crazy about the rigging that applied and went on during the Green Party nomination. Well, let me just say this much. There was less than 5,000 votes casted across the country for Howie Hawkins. The Green Party and the Green Party members who are part of it, and anybody who watches the show, I love you. I love your platform, but you need to get your shit together as far as the party is concerned, okay? The reason why nobody spoke about it a lot is because nobody cared. And the fact that you had so many few people out there that you can get a candidate to get really people out there excited, that's on you. And some of those lower candidates, those candidates underneath are kind of new for the first time, and a lot of people didn't hear about it. Well, that's, I get where your discrepancies are coming from, especially Dario Hunter, because I think Dario Hunter was the one who was screwed over more than anybody. But you guys had an opportunity to reach out to Jesse Ventura and get him on that ballot. And the way some of y'all acted was a little sad. That should have been the number one goal. Listen, I was thinking about voting for Jesse Ventura today, the fact that he's a write-in now. The only reason why I did vote for Gloria La Riva is because she's a socialist candidate and she's anti-imperialist, and that's important to me. And even though I have a lot of differences with her as being a leftist libertarian, I don't think that she's looking on censorship probably as harsh as I am and looking at that through a clear lens and saying, wow, we need to really take care of this censorship situation. I don't think she's well aware of the elections. I mean, she's been fighting just to get on the ballots, and she's on 15 ballots and 14 write-ins. So she's almost 30 states across the board that Gloria La Riva is on. So that's why I made a vote this time for her, because I feel there's a time that maybe down the road, if we're either, in a new party or kind of changing the old one, and I'm not talking about the Democrat, leftist libertarians like myself can reach out to socialists and say, hey, man, look, it's a modern world today. We have to look at today's times, what's going on. We understand the past, the way things have been. At the end of the day, socialists want social safety nets there for people, that they're not living on the streets, that they're not poor, that they can actually have a sound meal every day, clean water, a shower. I mean, we have enough resources here to take care of everybody. And when it comes to that, and the communists, they want workers' rights. They believe that the workers should own the majority of the profits since they produce all the labor and produce the actual products that are being made. So they're pro-worker at the end of the day, and that's not a bad thing. Libertarians like myself, even though I don't like their fiscal policies, they protect our civil liberties more than anybody, and that's important. Protecting your civil liberties has got to be at the top of the list. So as a leftist libertarian who wants number one issue is these elections here, making sure that they're sound. I mean, at the end of the day, we see no craziness today because there was so many mail-in ballots. And people go, there's never been a problem with mail-in ballots before. Well, do your research, ladies and gentlemen. They used to dub it the secret ballot because you don't know where it's coming from and who made it. And that's technically the case. We don't even have tracking on these ballots. So the fact that there has never been a situation where they found fraud is because they've never looked. If you don't recheck your work, you're not going to know how you do. Listen, in Los Angeles, we have a 1% audit. So this issue, even though it's going on today, it still lacks a lot of transparency. At the end of the day, somebody's going to pick up the ballots from here and take them to a satellite location. From that satellite location, eventually take them down to Norwalk or Downey, I believe it is, or I think it's Downey. And then they'll put them through the machine. Now, number one, the chain of custody is broken, which should be the most sacred thing in the world. Just because nobody has cheated before or got caught cheated in certain situations doesn't mean they can't cheat. And that's something that we have to address. I know all these Republicans out there, they go, people are voter fraud. They're sneaking in and they're voting twice, or they shouldn't be able to vote and they are voting and stuff like that. So they get into this whole practice of disenfranchising people, and especially disenfranchising people of color. It's really sad. But that being said, the Democrats can actually create a process in making sure these e-books are sound, these e-polls are sound, which are the books there, so that in the primary, the same person that they're trying to screw in the general won't get screwed, and it's really going to be hard to screw that vote if that vote is casted in the primary as it's casted in the general. And a lot of people don't address that fact, and they don't address the fact that the Democrats don't want to fix that either. They are for mail-in ballots like crazy. Like I said, we contract out to third parties. Somebody the other day contacted me and said, "Oh, they're just a printer." You haven't looked at the contract then, my dear. If you look at the contract for who does our mail-in ballots here in Los Angeles, it's a company called K&H, and they have access to printing, data processing, storing, mailing, receiving. There's all these things they do. So if it's a friendly contractor, let's say with Alex Padilla, he says, I need about 100,000 ballots spread out through these different locations where we want these other progressives to lose in these down ballot races like Tony Cardenas versus Angelica Duenas. It's going to be a scary one out there today, but you better believe that in California, they're not going to make sure that a deep state hack like that, or Brad Sherman, another one, or Maxine Waters, which seeing Maxine Waters on the squad thing the other day just shows you where they're at stuff. They don't care about policy. They're all about rhetoric. They don't want to really change things. They really don't care for people of color. They're a bunch of elitists. They're going to sit there and support a guy who authored the crime bill? I mean, come on. Anyways, I don't even know if I'm just rambling on here, if I'm even going live. Let me take a look out there. If there's anybody out there that wants to say anything, any questions right now, anything they got to ask, please do. We are over here in sunny Pasadena, where it's getting a little overcast. I can see there's 99 people watching. You guys are dropping down to 97. Come on, guys, get me over a 100. So, anybody have anything to say? I'll pass on the last American Vagabond and Whitney. Thank you. Holly Horn. I don't know why you're going to pass on them. You have to tell me why. Holly Horn, I'm still laughing at the spanking I gave those guys yesterday. Who's Gray Walker? He gave some spankings out there. Karen M is in the house. Manitowoc. I wanted to vote for Jesse Ventura, but he's not on any of this election. Sad. Well, Manitowoc, he is a write-in in several states. I believe it's 8. He's actually on the ballot in Alaska, and that can be something that's huge. I really did think about voting for Jesse Ventura. He's my type of candidate, but I decided to go with Gloria Riva. Like I said, one day down the road, I want to be able to reach across the aisle as a leftist libertarian and tell the socialists, come over here, let's join together, let's pay attention. Gloria Riva said that stuff well, too, as well. You know, she always talks about, people of color and poor white people, saying that we all have the same goal now, and that's to stop the elitists. And the people of power who have used their power need to be brought to justice. They need to be changed. We need radical change, and we do that by concentrating on what's in front of us. And I think today in a modern world, we have to look at those things and figure out how do we get everybody together on one side, holding hands, marching, and say, no more, let's take it down. So that is something to say. Oz whistles. Woo! Why bother coming? Because down ballot voting can generate more change than any president from any party. Jordan Allen says that. You're absolutely right. And, I got to be honest with you there today. I'm going to just be perfectly honest with you today. I voted for Chris Holden. I was like, not going to vote for him, but I did. I'm like, fuck, man. I was thinking about voting against Judy Chu, but I knew nothing of that Republican. But I can't stand Judy Chu, and I was like, can't do it. Okay, the last American Vagabond is looking out for us way more than these lunatics thinking a bandana over our face will save you. That's so true. I mean, listen, the last American Vagabond, Ryan Christian, he's pretty solid. He never really tells you what to think. He says, just look at the evidence, make a decision for yourself. I think that's something that's important. 100% says we're at 102. Guys, like, share, subscribe. We're just out here bullshitting, talking. Karen N says, Pasta so Hampson. Keel Jones says, Pasta just voted for Trump. No, I didn't. Gloria La Riva, nice try. Awesome coverage, Skibby. If you guys haven't checked it out, we just dropped it today. Angelica Duenas was outside a power plant in Sun Valley, and we did a little report on it. It's pretty awesome. Go check it out. Johnny just dropped it this morning. It's a pretty awesome video. It's over there as well. And we also cut up our clips of the last show. We've been getting a lot of responses on the Berg shows. We've been trying to go from like between 12 and 2, starting around that time. We've been starting about average time about 1:15 and been getting a great response from you guys. 9,000 on the last, the second to last live stream. I think it's at 7,000 for yesterday's live stream. So I thank you guys so much for really joining in and helping us out. I was scared coming out of the whole suspension, but you guys have made it a lot easier out there. Anyways, if no third-party vote against the incumbent. Yeah, that's a really, you know what? I mean, I did think about that. Love Angelica Duenas too. I did think about that. I don't know what that person, Stupid Enox, just said. That's kind of weird shit. I don't know, but that's anyways. It says, can't figure out whose butt hurt I want to watch. Seeing the right cry would be funnier, I think. I don't know, man. I don't know. These Democrats nowadays, they suck. Nancy Pelosi is just awful. I wish I could vote for Shahid Buttar today. That would have been so great. Shahid Buttar was on Jimmy Dore yesterday. He's going to be on the show. I got to actually have him on with Jen Perlman. Oh, yeah, and then I have another segment. I have to confirm. Tim Canova will probably be on with Raji Rob. And I got to call Dr. Shiva. I'm going to do a half-hour panel with those three. Those are three people. One independent, one, which is Tim Canova, was a Democrat, but he was independent in 2018. One Republican in Dr. Shiva, and a Democrat in Raji Rob. So we got a Republican, an independent, and a Democrat who've all been cheated by the election system, a lot of it by fraction magic. You know, we talk about this whole thing. It's kind of a shame to see Bernie Sanders out there talk about we have to have early counting. No, we don't. Early counting is early fraud. The machines that they'll eventually take it to, and this is what I'm talking about when we get back to the situation, there he is. They're going to take these ballots from the machines and take them to a satellite location and then eventually take them to where they got to go. The machines count 100,000 ballots per hour. You don't need to count early. So that's just crazy. How do you feel?
It was good, except the okay. So they fixed the more button. I was talking about that earlier before, because now it like lights up. It has a little animation,
very visible.
Very visible. You know, so you can see that now. When the ballot gets printed with all your selections, it comes out. At first, I forgot that you had to put it back in, so I was like kind of like about to walk over and be like with my ballot, and then I remembered. Oh yeah, you have to put it back in. It's not very clear on the screen when that happens.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I thought it was done.
The thing is that they have 9 people in here working. Unlike, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's Pasadena. Of course, they're going to have 9.
Yeah, if we go to a more lower income community, I'm sure they'll have like 4 people working and half the machines. How many machines were in there? It was like 20? There was a good amount of machines in there.
But see, here's the thing. I think this time they're beefing up a lot because they want any California vote as much as they can, because they know the more votes they get for Joe Biden, the better and stuff. But I don't know. Maybe in those areas they have a chance for an incumbent losing to a progressive or somebody coming up, they'll probably have a lot less. It'll be a lot harder to vote.
Like Angelica Duenas' district and also Maria Estrada's.
I had, we had Chris Holden, who I voted for.
I thought about it. I was like,
You know who I voted for?
I don't know. Lauren Steiner's Christmas song got me to not vote for him.
Let me tell you why. Because he came out and faced the fire. He came out, he listened in, and he took questions, and he remembered me too as well. He says, "Deb, you want to come meet me? Whatnot." I decided to vote for Chris Holden this time. I did not vote for Judy Chu. I wanted to vote against her, but I didn't.
I know. I wanted to too. It was vote for the Republican. I should have wrote in like Elmo or something, as a write-in candidate. I should have wrote anyone but Judy Chu, but not the Republican.
Anyways, I think that's it. We did our duty here. I guess where's your sticker? Oh, you got your sticker.
I voted.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if it counts. Let's see if they change it.
I think they'll let it go, buddy.
All right. Peace out, everybody. I voted for Gloria La Riva.